NERDSoul. Late ill kid at one young, so holding it down, bringing that street geek and nerd soul, and check it. Today I am with
Ivana.
Yo, she represents a company called Dainty Delights, and we gonna make something that you can eat while you get your geek. So what are we making?
Today we are making chocolate covered strawberries or candy coated strawberries.
Yeah. Man, I cannot wait. Well, I'm gonna step up out of her way so she can do her thing and get ready to eat, y'all.
Hello. Today we're going to be making candy coated or chocolate covered strawberries. It's something that is a quick treat at any banquet, any party, something. I wanted to do something that you guys might be able to recreate at home pretty quickly, make yourself look pretty fancy in front of your friends. But it's a really simple thing that we're going to be doing. Basically, you want to start with freshly washed, clean strawberries, and you want to try to dry them as much as possible because the water does affect the outcome of the strawberries when you do them. A little oil or Crisco shortening kind of helps to thin the candy coating. You'll see in a second. And then today I just use orange and black. I figured Halloween is coming up pretty soon, so if you want to be festive for your Halloween party coming up. Wilton makes a candy melt that I think is probably the easiest to use if you've never used it or you've never done chocolate covered strawberries before. Different chocolates can get kind of tricky, but if you've never done it before, this is probably the best place to start. So we have these things here. And a couple other tools that we'll use. So what takes the longest and is the trickiest is melting your wafers, your candy wafers. These are vanilla flavored. You can get actual chocolate, you can get chocolate that you flavor in different ways, but these ones come with a vanilla flavoring. It's pretty good. And the most important part is to melt it, but every microwave can kind of be different, so that's the part you want to pay the most attention to. So we'll get that process started now. I recommend, if you've never done it before, microwaving in 30-second intervals. Every temperature, sometimes you might need to adjust it to 50%. If you have a really strong microwave, you really just want to be careful to not cause it to burn or seize. The consistency gets clunky, it gets weird, and nobody wants that for their strawberries. The good thing is, though, in the event that that does happen or your topping is a little bit thick, that's where the oil comes in. It doesn't alter the flavor in any way. It just kind of helps to thin out your chocolate or whatever it is that you're using. So, clearly not melted yet. So, what I like to do in between each interval,
stir it like coffee.
Give it a stir.
Stir it like mother.
So you can kind of tell yourself or figure out how much longer it's probably going to take before it melts. Waste too much of the product. Like if you use a spoon, you can lose a lot of product, but this, no matter what it is that you're warming it up in, gives you a lot of room to kind of play with. And it acts as a pretty good stirring tool. It's important to note that you do want to give the chocolate, once it starts to melt, an opportunity to kind of cool, because if it's too hot, it will also affect the way the strawberries work. Once you get your wafers melted, orange is a nice consistency now. I just added just about a dash of, maybe I guess about 2 tablespoons or so of vegetable oil, just to make it a little bit slicker and a little bit thinner. You want to be able to kind of shake it and have it drizzle like that. That lets you know that it's primed for dipping. Also melted our black candy melts here in the same way. And we won't add vegetable oil to this batch because this is actually going to be used for our drizzle, and you don't want the drizzle to be too runny when it's coming out of the dispenser, or else it'll kind of get all over the place. You want it to have some cohesiveness. So what we're going to do with this black one is actually just get one of these squeeze bottles. You can find these at Michael's, you can find them at Smart and Final, a variety of different places. But this is where your fancy tricks come in, where everybody thinks that, you know, you bought them from somewhere. You actually just use this bottle that has this little nozzle, and it's for the decorating process. So we're gonna be dipping our strawberries in orange candy melt and drizzling them with our black. So I have a little funnel here, just to kind of make sure it doesn't get everywhere. But kind of just want to go ahead and down here. If it's taking too long, you can always just turn the funnel back over. That's just to avoid making a huge mess. Now we have our candy melted and our strawberries ready to go. You don't have to put the sticks in them, but I think that it makes it a little bit easier to dip when you do have the sticks and a little bit neater. I recommend a cookie sheet, or you can basically put it on anything, any surface, but a cookie sheet gives you a lot of room to kind of work. And parchment paper is your best friend. It allows the strawberries to come off and peel pretty easily without getting messy and getting all over the place. So we're gonna go now and dip one of our strawberries. Just wanna lift the leaves up. Try your best to not get them wet or too wet. And then just give your candy melt a shake to make it even. And you just wanna dip, kind of just swirl your strawberry around. Then lift, give a light tap, and we have a strawberry. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do that. Dip, swirl around a little bit. All right. Lift, tap off a little bit of the excess. There you go. So again, the most difficult part really is just getting the wafers to melt at the correct temperature and being mindful of the settings of your microwave. But once you get that perfect consistency, it's pretty simple, pretty fun. I think so. And it's a good project for kids at home. It's pretty easy to do with school-age children. Nice date night activity. Whatever you have in mind. If you can, be discriminate in your strawberry choice at the grocery store. I'm the kind of person that spends a lot of time in the produce aisle inspecting every box of strawberries to make sure that I get the biggest and brightest strawberries that are available. You want to make sure that you get big strawberries if you can that are ripe, but also not overripe, because if they are too sweet, the strawberries leak, and the leakage can affect the consistency of your chocolate, and you don't want to do that because it makes it a lot harder to dip, and you want things to be as easy as possible. Basically, these are our strawberries. We've dipped them all. It's nice to kind of arrange them in a way where they have some breathing room between them, because eventually we'll need to remove the sticks, and you don't want them so close together that they start to mess up or your hands start to get wet. But basically, for them to dry, given the temperature or the climate of where you are, you can either let it sit out on the counter for a little while, or you can just quickly pop it in the fridge for about 5 minutes. It gets it to chill just enough for you to move on to the next step, which would be the drizzle. So we just took out our strawberries from the fridge, let them chill about 3 to 5 minutes. And before you get started with the decorating, it might just be easy to do this part, which is just carefully removing the stakes from your strawberries so you have a little bit more room when it comes time to decorate and you're not limited. Just try to do them as carefully as you can. Nothing's perfect, but just don't want to mess with the integrity of the coating. Okay, so we'll just move these to the side now, and they're pretty much dry, so you can feel free to kind of rearrange them on your parchment paper so it's easy for you to do the dipping. You'll see it's firm once you put it in the fridge, so you don't have to be worrying about melting, but they are pretty sensitive to heat, so you don't want to touch it more than you have to, because you'll see it will start to kind of melt again. Just give yourself enough room to comfortably decorate. So we have our drizzle here. This is what we put in the bottle, the black candy melt before. And I just added maybe about a teaspoon of vegetable oil just to kind of thin it one more time. Before you practice on your strawberry, you might just want to make sure your consistency is okay in your squeeze bottle. So you just want to tip it over, make it as full as possible towards the top so there's not a lot of air affecting the way it comes out. And just give it a gentle squeeze. See where it's at. Seems like it's pretty decent for what we need. You don't want it to be too runny because it'll kind of run all over the place, and you don't want it to be too thick or else it won't spread the way you need to. So basic drizzle. You can just kind of take it here, squeeze, and then release. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. You can kind of do that for all your strawberries. You want to try a different design. One thing that's pretty simple is you can just make a few lines like that, and then you can take a stick, either a toothpick, bamboo stick of any sort, and just kind of can drag it. Just drag your candy melt a little bit, and you can see that just gives it kind of a ridge design. Okay, so basically after you put them in the fridge for a little while, not too long, uncovered, because the condensation from the fridge can negatively affect the way the strawberries look and kind of alter the presentation, but just enough for it to kind of just set the chocolate or set the candy melt. And once they're good to go, you'll see parchment paper is your best friend because things just come off super easily. But this is a great way to show everybody at the office that you know what you're doing in the kitchen, that you're multi-talented, and that you can do more than what your job requires. Super simple way to add a nice touch to your next potluck, next family gathering, any event. Saturday at home, want a quick snack, super easy and pretty fun. A really easy treat. They're good for about, I'd say, I wouldn't keep them past 2 days, because what starts to happen is the juice from the strawberry starts to kind of leak out of the casing, the chocolate casing. So they're best eaten within 24 to 48 hours when storing them in the fridge. You want to make sure that it's something airtight, so either a glass container or a nice foil container with a strong lid. Again, you want to kind of avoid any possible condensation that can kind of mess up what it looks like. But it's our final product. Chocolate covered strawberries. Ta-da!
Yeah, and we are back. Yo, I hope you enjoyed that. We got some cool stuff to try.
Okay,
Can I try one?
Please try one. Please. Anyone you want.
All
They're
right,
all calling your name.
All right. This, guys, cause see, if this is bad, then...
But it's not going to be bad, so you guys won't even have to worry about that.
So here we go. We're going to see right now.
Ultimate test.
First, it's the bomb. 2, do not give this to your kids. Kids can't handle this. Oh, this is the bomb. I'm gonna eat. Almost gonna eat the leaves and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yo, don't give this to your kids. You can give them like a nibble to a kid, but whoo. Yeah, I feel like I got enough. I got like 3 cups of coffee. But no, on the real, thank you very much. This is amazing. Now we get to sit down and see what Ivana knows about comics and movies. But until then, I'm gonna get my eat on.
Yeah.
This joint is the bomb for real.
Thank you.
Yo, what's up? Now we are ready to chill. Just had some bomb food to eat for the geeks. Now we get down to the real nitty gritty. Ivana, what made you start Dainty Delights?
So I started Dainty Delights in 2014 when I was in grad school.
Cool.
I was trying to figure out a way to make some more money on the side. And I was thinking about what did I already kind of like have some skills in, kind of know a little bit about. So I grew up in a home where my mother and my grandmother were very big on hospitality, cooking, entertaining guests. And so I was like, I think I know how to cook a couple of things. I can give it a shot. And I tried a couple things out and they were received really well. And that kind of encouraged me to continue to just try to learn different things on the side. So I continued to do that and it just continued to grow. And over time, it became something that went from a hobby to something that I actually became really passionate about and felt very purposeful about. So I made the decision to quit my 9-to-5 and actually take my business full-time earlier this year.
Good.
So definitely rocking with the passion.
Okay, now I met you at I believe a event that Blavity put on or something like that, but you had some banana
I had banana pudding mason jars.
Them just was on point.
Yes,
they were on point. Now, do you do only like desserts?
So we do actually all catering, all foods, all courses. Desserts are our niche. We kind of have a specialty with bite-sized desserts and appetizers. So that's like our focus, but we do catering for all events, all courses, meals. So
cool.
Yeah.
All right. So since you've gotten, the whole business started, what's been the general response to your events, like when you attend them? Like, are the people excited about the food and really they have a great response and feedback and stuff?
People definitely respond really well to the food. I've spent a lot of time kind of crafting and refining the recipes, so I think that the food now kind of is able to stand on its own. But I think what people are even more engaged with is I'm really big on connecting with people personally. I feel like the customer service aspect has kind of evaporated from the food industry.
Way more than evaporated.
And I feel like food is something very personal. It's something you put in your body. It nourishes you. It can affect your mood and how you feel. And so when I'm, having an opportunity to meet somebody new, I want to definitely show them what the food is about, but also get a feel for what their preferences are. What are the events that are going on in their life that maybe we can use food to kind of amplify? And in what ways can we design recipes and different entrees that really celebrate what that person's moment is. So
cool. So where does Dainty Delights come from?
So Dainty Delights comes from our emphasis on miniature, savory, and sweet treats. So dainty because presentation is really big. How it looks, aesthetics is really important, and delights because it's delightfully tasty. So put those two together and you got Dainty Delights by Ivana.
Cool. That's pretty dope. Now, let's get into the nitty gritty. What's the last movie you watched?
The last movie that I watched.
And this can be in the theater or at home. This could be either one.
Okay. The last movie I saw at the theaters that I can remember vividly would probably have been Civil War.
Ah, good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. Okay. So, did you like Civil War?
Yes, I actually was surprised. I'm not necessarily always going for superhero or the Marvel movies as a first pick, honestly, because I didn't know a lot about it. But once I kind of learned a little bit more about where the origins of these comics come from and kind of some of the political discussion that they're a part of historically, that really changed how I really received the movie. And I loved it. I was blown away. I paid attention the whole time and I became a fan. So,
all right. Now, as far as TV, what are you watching right now?
Let's see. On TV, Love and Hip Hop is a guilty pleasure.
I knew we were gonna get some reality shows. I knew it.
Love and Hip Hop, I admit it's my guilty pleasure. It's one of those things where you work all day and you come home and you just want to chill and not really think a lot.
And watch people be crazy.
And just watch nonsense. It's entertaining and I enjoy that. I'm actually really into Narcos on Netflix.
See, I've never seen that.
Okay.
I've heard it's good, but I haven't peeped it out yet.
It is so good. And I'm honestly not like a big movie or, film person all the time. But when I find something that I like, I grab onto it. And that's been what I've been watching.
Now, have you seen season 2? Have you been watching that one?
In Narcos?
Yeah.
I just started season 2 last night.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm making my moves. I am definitely moving through it.
All right. So, all right, you got a little TV. Now, as far as besides Love and Hip Hop and Narcos, which are so extremely different.
Right.
Is there anything like, I guess, what you could say on like network TV that you still watch? Or are you still watching like NBC and Fox and all them? Or are you kind of like done with?
There's a lot of bias in the news. There's a lot of different outlets you kind of have to be wary of in terms of what information you want and how you want it to be received. I tune in to CNN every so often just to kind of keep abreast of what's going on in the world. And then I kind of, do my own research to make sure that it's objective information that's presented, because things can be biased sometimes. But I'll tune into the news every so often. When I'm not watching Love and Hip Hop or Narcos at the gym, they like to play the Food Network. So I love watching Chopped or Chopped Junior and just
that was gonna be, that's good, because that was my next question.
Okay.
Do you watch like Food Network and I know there's another one like the Cooking Channel or whatever? And what are your favorite shows inside of those?
I like Chopped Junior a lot.
The youngsters?
I love it because for me, it's so exciting to see that kids so young have so much promise in terms of their creativity, their artistic ability, and to see that they're given an outlet to be able to do that and demonstrate that. That really is inspiring to me as an adult. I watch these kids and I'm like, well, I gotta step my game up. These kids are making filet mignon and have all these knife skills and all these different things. It encourages me and it makes me kind of optimistic in terms of who we can look to for our future. These are future leaders. So if we're not cultivating them and really helping them, develop their talents, we're kind of lost. So
all right.
Yeah.
Cool. You got kind of deep,
Yeah.
I do believe that children are our future. If we just teach them well and let them lead the way. We can show them all the beauty that they possess inside.
Give them a sense of pride.
Yeah. So we have. So probably my final question that's very important. Everybody knows what it's about to be. Who is your favorite superhero and why?
My favorite superhero right now is the Black Panther.
Okay.
I was introduced to the Black Panther in Captain America: Civil War.
All right.
And just the way that he had this sense of just pride in defending his father's honor, and just the way he's dressed, the way he, goes about all the things that he does, I really was drawn to. So I'm really looking forward to his movie coming out. I know it's gonna be a little while before it gets there.
It got pushed back, but I'm psyched for it.
Yeah, and he's a Black superhero. It's nice to see a Black person kind of perceived in a light that's heroic and is, inspirational, and not what we see often, oversaturate the media. So
all right, cool. Yeah. Now, speaking of Black superheroes, you told me that you were watching Luke Cage.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I love Luke Cage. I love Luke Cage because I feel like they did a really good job with making a modern day superhero. It doesn't necessarily feel like, oh, where's his cape? Or he's going to change real quick into something else. It just shows him being, a person kind of going through life, but having these abilities that are different than ours. But definitely just... It hit home. It's a relevant demographic. Yeah. He lives in Harlem. It's not some made up town. It's a place that you know what you would be dealing with if that's where you are. So, and it's nice to see a Black guy perceived in a positive way, honestly.
Yeah, I dug it, and I know you're not done with it, so I won't super spoil it, but the music is very good, the way it's shot is very good, it's well directed, and I do like the relationships between the characters, the cops, and it shows the cops and the politics. It also, it almost has kind of like a touch of The Wire in it. You know, where it's like you see what the cops and like the politics kind of have to go through. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So, all right, Black Panther. So there you go. Ivana loves Black Panther. That's her hero right now. It's, he's dope. You know how I feel. So he's dope. Now, before we get out of here, where can people find you online?
So people can find me at www.iwantdaintydelights.com. You can also find me on social media on Instagram, Dainty Delights by Ivana, Facebook, Dainty Delights by Ivana, info at Dainty Delights. IWantDaintyDelights.com. So lots of different ways.
All right. Well, of course, guys, thank you for hanging out with us. Getting some strawberries. Them joints with the bomb. Please make those because, geeks gotta eat. So, so before we get out of here, do not forget to check out thatnerdsoul.com. All the videos will be there. You can check out what I'm doing, what I'm up to. Then go to shop.thatnerdsoul.com. Do not forget to pick yourself up a t-shirt player and my playettes. But of course, before we get out of here, I gotta say, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And be good to each other. Peace.
Peace.